My name's and and the title of this program is Live Without Limits, Reach Personal Success on a Daily Basis. Our purpose is to talk about mental health, psychology, relationships, and personal development to help you overcome any limiting beliefs you may have. Often we don't realize just how much the things around us affect us and how we see ourselves and how we see ourselves in the world around us. Today's presentation is titled Four Secret Signs of Depression That You May Not Recognize. So let's get a little technical about the signs of depression. Major depression disorder or depression as a condition where a person's mood or other mental and physical systems are significantly impeded for a period of time. The DSM-5 Diagnostic and Statistic Manual of Mental Disorders, version 5, persistent depression disorder or chronic depression lasts at least 2 years in adults. Some of the commonly known symptoms of depression include feeling of sadness or hopelessness, feelings of worthlessness, loss of interest or pleasure in activities that you used to enjoy, insomnia or oversleeping, fatigue or loss of energy, suicidal thoughts, suicide attempts, or specific plan. But some symptoms of depression are not so obvious. There are several signs of suffering that can be misconstrued, misunderstood, or fly under the radar altogether. Some keep an eye out for these four signs of depression, and you may not recognize. Now, when we talk about these four types of depression, it's a form of reaction to what's going on in your immediate circle. But it's understandable why you would react that way, given if it's something that is repeated constantly, especially when it comes to family relationships. Anger. Some people don't know how to process or express their feelings of fear, hopelessness, helplessness, grief, melancholy, or isolation in a healthy way, and some mask these uncomfortable emotions with aggression. This misdirect prevents and protects them from feeling or being viewed as vulnerable, weak, or unworthy. People who have experienced trauma and violence may resort to using rage or angry outbursts to conceal their depression. Although anyone can use this unhealthy coping mechanism, depression and depressed men also tend to lash out in verbal or physical attacks or throw a tantrum instead of crying, asking for a hug, or simply having someone listen to and empathize with them. Unfortunately, this is because men often have fewer socially acceptable emotions to choose from than their female counterparts and are more inclined to express a wide range of negative emotions as anger because of the stigma attached to the traditional symptoms of depression. Men can also have a harder time asking for support. The fear of rejection, further alienation, and attacks on one's manhood after asking for help can make these symptoms even worse. Also, what you find is that people will express anger or abuse because that's what they learned as a child to do. I can tell you this much, that my older sister was so desperate for attention that she would physically abuse herself simply because it got her what she wanted, but she didn't understand that they were incapable of giving her what she really needed, and she had to learn to give it to herself. And because she didn't, and because she was made to feel that she was worthless just because she had a disability, she is depressed. And the sad part is, she doesn't even realize why she feels the way she does, or just how much being around her sister or her mother helped put her in that position instead of finding independence and self esteem. Guilt. Excessive guilt is a lesser known symptom of depression, although it is clinically recognized. The average person doesn't realize that guilt can be a sign of something deeper. Guilt is a natural emotion, and someone with a reasonable level of empathy and self awareness will experience plenty of guilt in their lifetime, but excessive guilt over long periods of time, over minor or even imaginary things, can signal a serious problem. Excessive guilt can be misread as severe anxiety or a personality quirk or disorder. It can also drift into patterns of paranoia, feeling like others are talking about you, angry with you, or out to get you because of something that you did or think you did. Hunger. Emotions have a way of transforming themselves into physical sensations. Excessive or insatiable hunger can sometimes be a sign that something is missing in a person's life. Trauma and grief can leave what feels like a hole that needs to be filled inside of someone. When life feels empty and nothing seems to satisfy, food can do the job in a pinch. Binge eating, sometimes accompanied by purging, is often associated with emotional trauma, although these behaviors are associated with binge eating disorder or bulimia nervosa, both eating disorders that can be comorbid, but depression, or rather with depression, they aren't always. There is also neurological misfires and hormone imbalances that can increase or disrupt the sensation of hunger. Whether you indulge or resist your urges, it is not normal to constantly feel the need to eat. It may point to a greater pain beneath the hunger pangs. Pain, physical pain, such as these, can imply a problem with depression. Headaches, migraines, muscle aches, joint pain, chest pain, and even digestive issues. Not all people with chronic or acute pain have depression, although pain disorders can lead to depressed feelings, and not all people with depression experience physical pain, but hurting for no clear reason, along with other symptoms over a period of time, can build a good case for depression. If you can also implicate other illnesses like fibromyalgia, lupus, or multiple sclerosis. This is why it is so important to find therapeutic and medical professionals to help sort out the complexities of the human body. Reach out for help if you are worried about signs of depression. Different mental health disorders can share similar symptoms, so it is always important to consult a professional when it comes to mental health. If you notice any of these more or less common symptoms of depression in yourself or someone you care about, encourage them to contact a licensed therapist, counselor, or psychologist. Luckily, there are options than ever before to find professional help, and several apps and websites offer 100% remote counseling if in-person sessions are not your preference. Depression is real and can become debilitating, and if left untreated. So make the decision to manage it today. And always remember, you have the ability to decide and control your life. But unless you're ready to change your behavior, no matter how much therapy you get, it may never happen. So be sure that you are ready to take the step and really want to change when you contact someone